Everybody, welcome back to my channel and thank you for tuning in. As I always say, nothing here is to be considered financial advice, but today we're going to take a look at a coin called Shiba Inu. And as of today, Shiba Inu is the most popular coin in all of the coin universe. And by popular, I mean it has the biggest gains. This week, it has something in the neighborhood of about a 1,600% gain and maybe like 100% gain for the last 24 hours. So what is Shiba Inu? I took a little bit of time to go through, and at first glance, it looks identical to Dogecoin. Doge is a picture of a dog. Shiba Inu is a picture of a different dog.
What would you like me to do? Put it all in dog money.
And those are the two basic similarities. And what that part does, and it's actually very important and very intelligent, is it allows for an enormous amount of marketing. And it allows this coin to stand out in the same way Doge does from kind of a sea of very similar sounding cryptocurrencies. Just to give an idea, in the first wave of cryptocurrencies, most things were had a very computer-styled sound to them. So you had like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then you got different coins that like came into the mix, which were like Litecoin. So everything either had like a bit or a coin, and it had like a very similar sounding name to it. Now, obviously there are exceptions to the rules, but these are just kind of like generalities. Then you have something like Dogecoin, and there's a few different animal coins out there which have their own unique properties. And then you have the food coins, which might be like the sushi swap or mochi swap, or there's like bento boxes, and there's yam. And so you have all of these different categories, and each one kind of has their own sound and their own properties to them. But taking a step back, Dogecoin and Shiba are two of the coins that are very popular in the dog coin category, which all of this is not at all talking about the tokenomics. All of this is not talking about the properties from a cryptographic standpoint. This is only taking a look at the cryptocurrencies from a marketing standpoint. And so if you had no experience in the cryptocurrency space, you would kind of look at it in very broad categories, and that's what I'm talking about. So, okay. Back to Shiba. Shiba came around, and I think it was released in about August of last year. And the amount that Shiba trades at is so small that it's really kind of hard for me to describe it. But the current price is $0 and 0.00002 cents is the exact amount that it's trading for today. And that is up an insane amount. It originally started out with, I think, 10 zeros, and now it only has 4 zeros after the decimal point. So I know this kind of sounds a little bit like nonsense, but there are people out there who have made millions of dollars with this. It got my attention. It probably has everyone's attention right now. And so I want to take a little bit of a look at how it works, how it functions, and why it works in the way that it does. At first glance, I went to their white paper, which is called the Woof paper. And whenever you look at this stuff, it's this like really weird balance of you're trying not to take it as a joke, but at the same time, the amount of money that is being made here is very, very serious. And this coin is worth billions of dollars, so it's certainly real money. Their white paper is called the Woof paper. Taking a look, they actually did some kind of interesting things on their white paper that I think most people might not realize. One of the interesting things they did is they took half of the coins that were ever minted and they put them in Vitalik's wallet from the founder of Ethereum, which in retrospect was probably a very intelligent thing. I don't know if he ever did anything to interact with the coin beyond that, but he's certainly one of the more powerful people in the cryptocurrency community. In retrospect, it seems to have played out very well, where this coin very well could have been worth absolutely zero, and it's a multi-billion-dollar coin today. So that was kind of like a really interesting thing that I found in the white paper. A few other interesting things is they go by the term army. There's like Bitcoiners, there's One Harmony has the Harmonauts. The Shiba Inu people are the Shiba army, and that's what they go by, and they're a really passionate group of people. Again, this coin, like many other coins, and to some extent all coins, is valued off of the market effect that it has with it. If you can get like a really strong rallying cry behind anything, whether it's like a GameStop revolution or Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, you can really do some pretty amazing things. So like having a good name for like a fighting rallying cry, I think that's like smart from a marketing standpoint. And Shiba, as I understand it, it lives on the Ethereum network, which is interesting because the transaction fees are relatively high compared to if you put it on like a different network, different ways that you could position this on an alternative network that would have been more affordable. It lives on the Ethereum network. They created this thing called Shiba Swap, which sounds a lot like Sushi Swap. And Shiba Swap has 3 tokens with it. It's like the Shibu, it's their leash token, and their bone token. And you can kind of swap them, and you can bury your Shibu coin, which means to stake it. And then there's some pretty kind of interesting tokenomics that go with it. I have absolutely zero financial advice whatsoever or opinion on Shibu. I can say I personally own 0 Shibu coins. I have heard about it for a few weeks, and obviously looking at it, I would have done really well to have bought it. It's just saying that I don't really understand the value beyond the market effect that well. And, sometimes those things can be very much based on price. And so my fear with a coin like this, which may be completely unfounded, but you might get into a kind of a vicious cycle of, because the value of the coin is predicated on the network effect, and that network effect is based on the price going up. If the price goes down, the network effect can fall apart. And then if the network effect falls apart, the price continues to fall. If those things occur, then you can have a massive depreciation in the value of the coin in the same way you had a massive run up in the coin. This is a little bit in contrasting nature to something like a Bitcoin, which has the Lindy effect, which is a really strong store of value, and a lot of the Bitcoin maxis or the people that really believe in Bitcoin are very long-term investors. They've weathered a few cycles where you've had 80-90% drops, and they've hung around for those, and they're going to probably hang around for any weathering of the storm into the future, where this has only been around for less than 12 months, and it's a little less determined if the Shiba army is going to be willing to weather kind of like a financial storm if there's a pullback or retraction. So that's one thing. And then, at least from my reading of the white paper, it doesn't sound like they have any really novel proprietary technology. And I'm open to me being incorrect on that. I didn't see anything that was novel. To me, what's novel is their market effect and the growth rate of this coin, and it's easy to be marketed, and they have a really strong following behind them. In my overall sense, I think it's awesome if you're in the Shiba army and you're watching this, congrats. I think it's great that you've made a bunch of money. And if you're not, be careful. That doesn't mean you should or shouldn't buy. It's just kind of my review of the situation, and that's everything. So awesome work to everyone that made $1 million or $1 billion on your Shiba coins. And to everyone else, proceed with caution.
Brokers calling, you know that it's on. Buy dog money, don't stop till it's dawn.